So this'll be interesting. This is like the first time I've ever done one of these, huh? At least I'm pretty sure it is. I'm going to get banned on YouTube and probably Twitch too. Hopefully not. Hi everybody, Skylar Stardrift here. Welcome to the stream, and welcome back to Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX. But before I tell you what happened last time, I have to tell you what we're doing tonight. See, last night, there was a little... Okay, let's be honest, it wasn't fucking little. Nintendo Direct that aired last night about a game called Kirby's Air Riders. Now, I don't know about you, but I like me some Kirby games, and I really like me some Kirby Air Ride. So I thought it would be fun if we watched the stream together, or watched the Direct together. So that's going to be an interesting startup to the stream tonight, isn't it? So, I apologize for the scuffiness of what you are about to see, but I threw this together in like an hour before the stream started and after dinner. Actually, no, I started it before dinner, had to stop for dinner, and then I had to continue it after dinner. With very little time. I did my best. Hi Delimited, hi Dark Patrol, hi Spyro, welcome on in. Hi. Hi indeed. Welcome to this now. Yes, of course, it's a Spyro background. Of course it is a Spyro background. Why wouldn't it be a Spyro background? So what we're going to do is we're going to watch the Nintendo Direct. And I figured that, like, using the countdown of the 10 minutes, like, I could go over the game. But there's just, like, a couple of things that I wanted to go over first. Before I do. Mario Kart, you better fucking look out. Because you only got a 16-minute Direct. And I'd like to point out, all of the information that you gave us, we mostly already fucking knew most of it. Like, we're talking 90% of, like, most of that Direct. 90% of that Direct is information we already knew from the trailers and the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct that we got. We know nothing about this. Aside from the fact that it's either going to be a sequel or a re-release of Kirby Air Ride. Now, I don't know what this is, because I've not seen any information. I will admit, I have seen two things about this game. One I was expecting, so it's not a spoiler. And the other, well, it was a spoiler, but it's a quality of life improvement, and that's fine. At least I think it's a quality of life improvement. We'll see. But I can't get over the fact that Mario Kart World got a 16-minute Direct full of information we kind of already knew. Kirby Air Riders gets a 45-minute long Direct. What? And we know nothing about this game, aside from the fact that the first course that they showed on the reveal trailer, which is all we have seen up to this point, is definitely one of the courses from the original game. And one of the Air Ride machines is returning. And multiple Kirbys are going to be playable. But, like, all of those are just givens. So, we have no fucking idea what we're getting. 45 minutes. Mario Kart World, the premier Nintendo kart racing multiplayer experience, got a 16-minute Direct of 90% of information we already knew. Kirby Air Riders gets a 45-minute information direct, and we know nothing. This is as long as a regular direct. Like, what? I don't even know what Donkey Kong Bonanza got. But I know Donkey Kong Bonanza had a direct as well. How long was that? You know what? I'm gonna find out. Give me a sec. Hold on. I'm curious. How long did Donkey Kong Bonanza's direct go for? Okay, looks like it was a 17-minute direct. Yeah. So Donkey Kong Bonanza was 17 minutes. So, this is insane. They really went all in. Yeah, they really fucking did. Holy shit. Anyway, let's take a look, hey? Now, I do apologize, but please let me know. There's no music, of course, at the moment because the timer was ticking down. But let me know if you can't hear anything once the direct starts, and I'll be sure to adjust it. Kirby Air Ride. A classic GameCube game and a classic multiplayer experience. I picked this game up secondhand from a secondhand retailer shop for $25 in Australian back in the day, right? And the amount of joy the game has given me is insane. Both single player, multiplayer, I thoroughly enjoyed the game, and I've always hoped that there would be like a newer version with online play, and I'm kind of expecting that tonight. I'm definitely expecting online play. But many hours were spent in Kirby Air Ride. It's great. This is another game I have never heard of before. So Kirby Air Ride is a racing game. However, it's a very simplistic racer in the fact that you use just one button and the analog stick. The analog stick steers, and the A button does literally everything else. And you auto-accelerate. So you don't need to do that even. So the gimmick of the game was basically that. And then there were 3 modes. There was Air Ride, which is your typical racing game. There were only 8 courses in the game, with a 9th hidden course. There was Top Ride, which, if you've ever seen Slot Car Derby from Mario Party, I would say it's very, very, very similar to that. Not my favorite, probably the weakest of the bunch. I definitely didn't play that one as often as I should have, or even tried, and I didn't like it when I did try it, so I immediately tuned out. And if Air Ride is your bread, and Top Ride is your butter, then City fucking Trial is everything in between those 2 slices of bread. City Trial is a time-limited run through a giant city landscape, where you have to collect items that increase the stats of your machine. There are a multitude of different stats, so I won't go over them. They might even go over them in the direct. And at the end of the time limit, you play a challenge. Now that challenge could be a race, it could be a battle, it could be a demolition derby, it could be destroy as many enemies as you possibly can, it could be a battle against King Dedede, it could be a drag race, it could be a gliding challenge to see how far you can glide, to see how high you can glide, or to see how many points you can get from a glide. There were so many different challenges, and you almost never see the same one happen twice, because there was, like, at least 20 of the damn things, plus every single race course. It's basically a free roam map as well. You could jump off your air ride machine and go and find another machine, and then you jump on it, and then you lose half your stats because the air ride machine is incompatible, and you have to go around and collect them all again. Great fun. And heaven help you if you were trying to go for the frickin' legendary air ride machines. Because then you would ignore getting the stat boosts you need to actually win to try and secure a victory. So much fun. We played this game for hours when I was a kid. And even I played it for hours. Really, really good fun. Hi, Papa Links, welcome on in. And then it just sort of... poof. It was gone. A lot of people would say that Kirby Air Ride... Well, I think it's actually true that Kirby Air Ride was supposed to be a multiplayer Kirby adventure game, and they couldn't quite get it to work on the GameCube. So Masahiro Sakurai-san decided, fuck it. I'm just gonna make what I can. And that's what he gave us. I think the game is remembered really fondly by the people who played it. It wasn't very popular at the time. So I'm kind of hoping that this is going to be big, because I want people to like this game. Kirby Air Ride is great, so lots of strategy. Yeah, and the other thing too that I do like about City Trial is anyone can pick up and play it. Like, it's really easy to do. You'll quickly understand what it is you've got to do in City Trial. And just because you're skilled at the game, it doesn't mean you're going to win. Just because you're skilled at the game doesn't mean you're going to beat all of your opponents. No, it's all down to the machine you build. And if you don't find the stats you need, you're fucked, mate. You are absolutely gone. So, hi Cindy, welcome on in. There were many times where you'd just be like, look, I'm gonna go for the red boxes and try to get the legendary air ride machine pieces. And if you don't get all 3 of those pieces, you are done. You are so done if you focus on only the red boxes. The game will destroy your ass. And so will your opponents. Your opponents will just be like, hey, by the way, I've got like 8 top speed. How much do you have? Oh, 2? Oh, that's pitiful. Bye, I'm going to leave you at the starting grid. Really, really, really good fun. Like I said, it's very... I would say it's similar to Mario Party, except there's even less skill involved. Once you get the core concept down, it's literally pick up and play. And I say skill involved because, Mario Party, minigames and such, but like, in Kirby Air Ride, it all depends on the stats you get, and you're not guaranteed to get the same stats every time you play. You might get really lucky one time, and a secret area will open up in Town Hall, and you'll get like a bunch of top speed boosts, but then the next time it doesn't open at all, and you've only found like 1 top speed boost. Meanwhile, your friend, who has never played the game before, has gotten 6 top speed boosts, and is going to beat you in the drag race that you're playing. It is so much fun playing this game. A lot of RNG. Lots of RNG. And I as someone who loves random numbers and random chance, this game is great fun. Or at least City Trial is. Kirby, Air Ride and Top Ride are good in their own respective rights. Like I said, I'm not a defender of Top Ride. I wasn't too much of a fan of that. But Air Ride was okay. The only problem was 9 courses is very, very small. Very, very limiting. So... But yeah. Oh, one other fun fact too. So the reason... Remember how I brought up the price earlier? And I paid $25 at a secondhand store for this many years ago, like when I was a teenager, back in the mid-2000s. Before this game was announced, I went online and looked this game up on eBay. This game was $300 Australian. I'm sorry, what? The good news is, because this has been announced, this has dropped dramatically. Like, I checked it after the direct announcement, and it was down to like $70-80 Australian, which is a bit more respectable than 300, because like, what the fuck? I paid $25 for this, and I got the box and the manual and the game. Come on. Now, sadly, I need to head to the lab again. This should be the last day I need to, though. Alright, no worries, Spyro. Bye-bye. A lot of money. Yeah, Oh, and here's your hydrate, too, in case you're still there. But, see you. Oh, boy. Do have the... Okay, cool. I do have this unmuted. Alright. Let's see what this is all about, huh? Starting. Shh. Now, again, please let me know if you can't hear it. Because I will need to turn it up, alright? Please, please, please let me know. This is very scuffed and very thrown together, alright? Violence! Kirby is violent. And online interactivity. It's online. Oh, that is gonna do nothing. Hold on. Might turn this down a little bit. Whee! Oh, my mistake. There were 3 other machines that we saw. Riders. Direct. Oh dear.
Nintendo GameCube でリリースされていた前作カービィのエアライドから実に22年ぶりの復活となったカービィのエアライダー。早速ですが、なぜカービィのエアライダーという名前に変わったのという質問にお答えしますが、今回はライダーが選べるからです。
Okay. This was the one thing that I was spoiled on. Was the ability... I get to... The beauty about watching a direct afterwards, I get to pause the video when I want to talk about something. The one thing that I was spoiled on was I saw a screenshot of Meta Knight riding on an air ride machine, and I just so happened to know that in the original game, you could play as King Dedede and you could play as Meta Knight. However, you could not choose your machine. King Dedede was only available on the wheelie bike, and Meta Knight was just Meta Knight. He didn't have a machine. He was Meta Knight. So, this was what I was spoiled on, but this is more just a major, like, more a, whatchamacallit? What? There. More quality of life improvement. I'd also like to point out, Waddle Dee is now playable. Waddle Dee was not playable before, so that's interesting. No new mystery dungeon. No new mystery dungeon, sadly. By the... Oh my god, they're doing the Smash thing. This is how they reveal Smash characters. Oh, you can tell it's by the same guy. By the way, how's the audio? Can you guys hear the audio just fine? Please let me know. A light and floaty friend to all, this well-balanced hero has no clear weaknesses. Okay, so they got stats now. King Dedede is here. It's fine, cool. Heavyweight rider who rules the raceway, hits hard with his powerful hammer. So, that was King Dedede's ability. He didn't get copy abilities, he instead was able to just hit people with his hammer when he came past. So, yep. Also, hold the fucking phone. That looks like a new course. Are we getting more courses? Meta Knight is here! A shadowy defender who slashes rivals with his sword and slices through the air on dark wings. So again, Meta Knight's ability was just, he had a permanent sword ability. Bandana Waddle-Dee is here. A sturdy rider who builds boost charge quickly. His trusty spear stings rivals like a hornet. Chef Kawasaki? A culinary genius who always has a ladle handy, recovers an extra amount from food items.
前作では番外の2名がいたものの、ライダーは基本的にカービィのみでした。カービィが様々なマシンに乗り換えて
various machines in that game.
今回は各キャラの
This time around, you can also have fun with each character's unique traits. I like that. How we got here. Okay.
なぜエアライドの新作を私が作ること
I
に
ended
なっ
up
たのかという
creating a
と、
new Kirby Air Ride game.
任天堂のソフト開発
Strong
責任
request
者であ
from
る
Mr.
高橋さんと
Takahashi,
当
head
時
of
の
software
カルテ救助
lab,
社長の水原さんにぜひと
Hang
も
on.
社である高橋さんと
head of software
当時の
development at
カルテ
Nintendo,
救助
and
社長の水
Mr.
原さんにぜひ
Matsuhara,
とも
the president of HAL
強く
Laboratory
お願い
Inc.
され
at
た
the
からで
time.
す。その頃私は
At the time, I was working on the DLC for Smash Bros. Ultimate,
とても手がつけられなかった
and wasn't really able to get around to the request, but I managed to complete a written proposal at high speed.
このあたりについては
Actually, I mentioned this on my YouTube channel, so I hope you check that video out.
開発担当は
The developer of the game is Bandai, okay, not HAL. Okay, sure. My companies Sora Limited and Bandai Namco Studios Inc. are the same tag team that worked on Super Smash Bros. For 3DS and Wii U and Smash Ultimate. Yep. Move on to the main topic. Okay. Alright, here we go.
カービィのエアライドとはつまり
It's widely viewed as a racing game featuring Kirby. Yep, I think you're about to understand what Kirby Air Ride is.
カービィを使ったレースゲームですと。
Whee!
こりゃマリオカートの
Battle
キャラもののレースで
with familiar characters around courses with different features, or so they say.
こりゃマリオカートで
Oh, he knows what he's doing!
私も話を受けた時に
Mentioned this when I received the request to make the game. I asked them if they still wanted me to do it, but as fans of the original know,
このゲームの
the appeal of the game is actually not the races.
とりあえずゲーム画
I'm
面
going
を
to show the
初
first
公
look
開
at
します
gameplay.
こんな感じです
Here it is. Oh my goodness, this has Smash written all over it. Oh, these courses look amazing. I can't wait to play these.
本当に作られていますね
It's really been
これから
made.
たっぷり
From
説
this
明させて
point
い
on,
ただき
I'll
ま
go
す
into more details. How to ride.
基本的なマシンの走
So
ら
what
せ
are the
方につ
basics
い
of
て
riding on
こ
the
こ大事な
machines?
のでぜひ
This part is important, so please pay attention.
様々な形状や
These are air ride machines, or
こ
machines for
れが
short,
エアライドマシン
and they have different
略して
forms and
マシン
traits.
上に乗る人は
The characters who ride them are not called drivers, they're known as riders. Rider, machine.
マ
Doink.
シンは通常ホバーのように
Machines usually
床から
float a little
少し
above the
浮き上が
ground
って
like
い
they're
ます
hovering.
そして自動的
They also
に
move
練習
forward
しています
automatically. This is what I
ボタン
mentioned
を押す
earlier.
必要はありま
So
せん
there's no need to press any button to
スティッ
accelerate.
クを前に倒す
You
必要
don't
も
need
な
to
い
tilt
の
the
で
left stick
注意して
forward
ください
either, so please be mindful of
まっ
that.
すぐ走っている時は
As you're racing
左右
forward,
だ
you
け
can
で
change
動きます
direction by tilting the stick left and right.
操作はワンボタン
Use one button for the controls. This is called a boost charge.
ボタンを押すと
When you press the button, the machine hits the ground. You'll start a boost charge and then brake. Simultaneously, if you hold the boost down, you will start charging up.
ただまっすぐ
But
走っ
if
てい
you're
る
just
時に
racing
ボタンを
forward,
押し
there's
ても
not really
あまり
much
意
use
味
in
なし
pressing the button.
きつめのコーナーがあった時
So you can't use
ス
it
ティ
in
ックを
quick
前に
succession.
倒しなが
Yep.
らボタンを押すことで
Slide,
ザザッと地を滑
start
り
drifting and
ドリフトします
sliding along the
プ
ground.
ッシュし続ける
It's
ことが
important
大
to
事
keep boosting.
そしてチャージを
Don't
楽
you
しんで
charge them when you
カーブの
exit
出
the
口で
curve?
一気に開放
Let loose.
ドリフトを兼ねたチャージを繰り返すこと
Repeatedly
で
charging through
激しく
drifts, you
速く
can
進めま
move
す
forward really
これが
fast.
基本
Those are the basics. That's basically your drift
ま
button.
っすぐ走っている時はボタンもスティック前に
Racing forward, you don't need to press the button or tilt the stick.
左右と
You just need to tilt the stick left and right and use the button on the
そして
curves.
多くの
Also,
マシンは
most of the
滑空
machines
す
can
ることができ
glide.
ます決められた飛行エリア
There
がある
aren't
の
any
ではなく
specific flying
ジャンプ台を踏み切
areas.
れば
If you jump from a
グライダーの
ramp,
ように
you'll
宙に
fly
舞います
through the sky like a glider. Tilt the stick toward you, in other words, all the way down, and the machine's nose will rise, making you fly upward. By tilting the stick up, the nose will point toward the ground and you'll descend. When you're racing normally, don't continue to tilt the stick forward. Otherwise, you'll suddenly fall off the ramps. When you're landing, try to do it gracefully and be parallel to the ground. Land perfectly, you'll get an extra boost of speed. Whether you're steering or flying, it's important that you use the controls carefully. Previous game, you used a single button for everything. Yep. This time we've added a second button, unfortunately. This is to expand the game's depth. In contrast to the boost charge button, which propels... Hang on, I missed that. Propels the machine forward. We're calling this the special button. Below the boost charge gauge is the special gauge. Press the special button once the gauge is full and you'll unleash a special move. Each rider has a different one. Some specials increase your speed, while others unleash attacks. Special collection. Ultra Sword! Unleash a series of slashes with your giant blade! Activate the jet engine hidden in your hammer and rocket forward. Jet hammer. Night wings. Spread your dark wings and fly forward at incredible speed. While your spear in front of you is a shield or above you is a propeller. Spear cyclone. Super spicy cooking. So spicy curries all around you to make rivals spew flames. Hang on. That's a new character. Cappy. Booster cap. Use a mushroom cap propulsion to rush ahead in a steady burst. Burn. Burst into flames and charge straight ahead as a fireball. Fire Kirby ability. Snowball. Turn into a snowball and grow larger and faster as you roll ahead. Only Kirby has 4 specials. Okay, and you can choose your special by selecting from Kirby's different color options. I mean, Kirby is the main character after all. Might have also spotted Cappy making an appearance. Yeah, I did. I'm a little disappointed though. Does that mean Kirby only gets 4 colors in this game? That's a little disappointing. I hope that Kirby gets more colors, because in the original, Kirby had like 8 at least. There were these 4 colors. So it was pink, red, yellow, blue. There was purple, green, brown, white. Like, where's the rest of the colors? I hope there are other colors. Might have also spotted Cappy making an appearance. Cappy is here! Even mushrooms can race in Kirby Air Riders. Cappy, the mushroom cap doubles as a protective cushion. Race ahead of rivals before it falls apart. Oh, the special button has another important function. But we'll get to that later. Okay. Lessons. What about different racing techniques, including the ones I just went over, in lessons? Before you start racing, it'd be a good idea to try them out. Once you've completed all the lessons, you can master all the techniques in the game. You did it, you're a fully fledged air rider now. Machines. So each machine performs differently. Are you going to show us all, or just some of them? Warp Star. Both drives and glides perfectly well, an easy ride with no clear weaknesses. Wing Star. Slow and ground-bound, but soars gracefully whenever it takes flight. Wagon Star. Can't boost charge, but makes up for it with high performance in other categories. Wheelie Bike. Races ahead on a single wheel, an interesting design compared to Star-type machines. Shadow Star. Attacks cause major damage even on a single hit. Soars on sleek and shadowy wings while airborne. Paper Star, you're new! Light as paper with impressive flight capabilities. Fragile, but offers excellent acceleration. It's not just about basic stats like speed or how well the machine can turn. The behavior also changes. Borkstar. Powers forward on boost charges. For example, with the bulk style you can charge up. Has an extra tough frame that's hard to damage. And use that charge as fuel during a race. Swerve Star. Swerve Star can only accelerate and stop. Ride it forward, then stop it suddenly. Ride, then stop. Ride, stop. Ride, stop. If you boost charge, you'll come to a hard stop. So you can boost charge and turn, then speed off. In the previous game, there were two types of machines. Star type and bike type. But we're adding some new types here, okay? Ooh, I love that design. A safe, stable ride thanks to its two-wheel design. Turns sharp corners with reliable agility. Runs on two wheels and is pretty stable. It also yeah, I agree! Tank Star. Even while you're boosting, you'll propel straight forward without slowing down. Rushes forward on boost charges. Boost charges help it tackle turns at a rapid pace. You'll then boost dash in the direction you're facing. Oh! It also has high durability. It looks tough, yeah. Funnily enough, the machines also have their own traits. It's part of the game's charm. Additionally, depending on the rules, machines can end up half broken. When that happens, they actually get a speed boost. Purple Kirby. Okay, we've got more colors. Alright, I'm happy again. Okay, we're good. We're good. Riders. In the previous game, while you could play as Meta Knight and King Dedede, you couldn't choose their machines. Here you have the freedom to change their machines. Good for them. There are other riders too. Rider collection. Magalore, okay? Magalore, sly spellcaster who accelerates a lot after star slides. Attack rivals ahead of you with perfect landings. Ooh, I like. Gooey! An odd creature of mysterious origin, makes skillful use of his long, wiggly tongue. Waddle-doo! Keeps an eye on nearby rivals and hits him with a peeper-powered arc of optic blasts. Knuckle Joe! A fierce fighter who jabs at riders that come too close. Charge up fully for a flurry of punches. Susie from Planet Robobot. A smug, shiny entrepreneur deploys a propeller to take off and float gently through the air. Depending on their weight, each rider will have an impact on their machine's performance. So, the same Wagon Star gets smaller if Kirby rides it, and bigger if it's King Dedede. That's cool. How curious that the size of the machines changes. We're not going to elaborate further. So, as you can imagine, Kirby is better boost and can turn faster, while King Dedede has increased top speed, attack power, and durability. But the racing performance isn't the only thing that changes. For example, King Dedede and Meta Knight can also perform close-range attacks. Just get close to an enemy and they'll automatically strike. Cappy's hat works as a shield and can withstand some attacks, so that was what I was mentioning before. King Dedede and Meta Knight have auto attacks. The machines are very intricate when it comes to their stats, so it's a good idea to select a rider that complements each one. Of course, you want to consider the courses and rules as well. That's why in Air Ride mode, you'll select the course first, then the machine and rider. So this is similar to Smash Ultimate, where it was select your stage first, then your character. So they're doing the same thing here. But if you can select your rider, you might be wondering, isn't Kirby the only one who can use copy abilities? This game is in the Kirby series, which means Kirby can obtain different copy abilities from enemies. That skill is unique to him. So we got Cutter. Cutter is new. Cutter wasn't in the original. Sword, that was in the original. Wheel was in the original as well. But that would create an advantage over the other riders. Fire. And also create too much of a gap in the fun. Mike, that's also in the original. So, here we made it so that other riders can also use copy abilities, because why the fuck not? All riders can have copy hats. Wait, you went that far? Yes, we did. Fire, press the boost charge button to release a fireball. Slash automatically at nearby enemies and rivals with a sword. Bomb, hold and release the boost charge button to throw the bomb. That can damage yourself, so be careful. Turn into a ground-bound wheel and get rolling. That increases your top speed and acceleration with the wheel. Mike, show off your singing skills and a wide-reaching attack. Cutter, press the... This is new. Press the boost charge button to throw a razor-sharp blade. Okay. Jet, blast off with powerful engines. That's also new. Steel ball, become a massive indestructible force. That's new. What doesn't seem to be returning is Electro, or, whatever it was. Electric Kirby. That was an interesting one, and probably one of the more fun ones. It had 5 different shots you could perform, and the shot you got was dependent on how much you waggled the control stick before pressing the button. Copy abilities only last a limited time, so it would take you almost the entire time to charge it up to this massive freaking blast that just takes almost the entire course. Kind of disappointed that's not returning. By the looks of it, it could actually still return. Who knows? Never mind. It was, yeah, this was what I was talking about, plasma. By the way, the plasma copy ability no longer requires you to wiggle the stick to charge it up. Cool. It now charges automatically. Your boost charge to unleash it. That ball of plasma does look a lot smaller though, I will say that. Copy abilities aren't just for attacking either. There are ones that also increase your speed. To catch enemies with copy abilities, boost charge when they're directly in front of you. In other words, press the button. Kirby will inhale them, but the other riders can catch him with a move called Capture. I love how they gave Meta Knight the sword ability. It's like, dude, you've already got the sword. Sure. Some riders have unique ways to capture enemies. For example, Chef Kawasaki can capture enemies with a ladle. If you capture an enemy without a copy ability, you'll launch it as a star-shaped projectile. Also, when you defeat an enemy wandering through a course, you'll get small stars and accelerate. It's more beneficial to defeat enemies. You want to launch star-shaped... You want to launch star-shaped projectiles from captured enemies, use copy abilities, and so on to defeat enemies. I feel like that gives you a bit more of a boost in this game, whereas I don't think it did much in the original. And depending on the rules, some of the riders might even wander around by themselves. Here we casually revealed a newly added rider. You sure did. Starman is here. It's Starman. Similar to the Mushroom Cappy, this character was originally a weak enemy. Excels at airborne maneuvers, jumped for a burst of speed, and soar right over your rivals. Not all the riders are major characters. We focused on the individuality of each participating rider. I hope more people will realize how cute Starman is. Air Ride! Oh boy, here we go. First, let me explain Air Ride mode, or in other words, races. Riders and machines bursting with personality will compete to cross the finish line first. Each race is limited to a maximum of 6 riders. Technically, we could have added more participants, but we kept the pool small. Okay, so it used to be only 4 could participate, so that is an improvement. Interesting that they went for 6 and not 8, though. I think that 6 is the right balance to be able to better compete for first place. Take that, Mario Kart! After all, too many participants in this game can make it messy. And your chances of winning can shrink. For now, let's just try doing just one lap. There's a lot of action that will happen, so I suggest moving away from the screen a bit or making it smaller. Race on this ocean course, wave flow waters, that's new. Ocean courses in racing games with familiar characters tend to have blue oceans, white beaches, music with Latin American themes, or styled like relaxing resorts. But in Kirby Air Riders, it's not that calm. Please take a look. Alright. Okay, I'm going to try the ocean course. See, suddenly parting. Wow, this is incredible. What do you think is happening? Is what I'd ask, but now is not the time for questions. The path left by an opponent's track will be marked with something called a star slide. It's these little shining stars. Grab these and you'll speed up. You also get a speed boost when you attack an enemy or a rival. It's not that you slow others down when you attack. You actually speed up when you attack. That's how the game works. I'm using Cutter and other copy abilities to gradually speed up. For this portion, I'm just going to drift through here, then shoot out of the cannon, then we'll see a huge whirlpool. The sight of the rushing water is spectacular. It really is. We designed this course with the idea of living water in mind. Okay. Try getting one more copy ability. Oh, it's Wheel. Using Wheel will close the gap, then unleash a special move. I wonder if that did the trick. Okay, let's keep that up and race ahead. Nice! Okay, I finished the race. That felt really good. The game feels great! So I hope you were able to see the variety of different attacks and how you can use them to speed up. Also, the ocean course is pretty dynamic. Yeah, it really is. Course feels... the course feels very dense, and along with the music, I think it's designed really well. There isn't a whole lot of repetition, and as you race through the course, you'll find new things. Air Ride Course Collection, here we go. Floria Fields. A grassy field blooming with flowers. Feel the gentle breeze as you ride through. So this is basically your regular course from the original game, but it's different. They definitely changed it. Cavernous Corners. I see they've kept the alliteration. I think that was in the original. Caper around caves deep within a jungle. Treasure awaits those brave enough to reach its depths. Siberian Highway. Piercing lasers, collapsing platforms, anything can happen in this digital cyberspace. This reminds me so much of the cyberspace that was in Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. Does it not? Oh, I like that. That's gonna be my favorite course, I swear. Calling it now. Mount Amber Falls. Oh, some of these don't have alliteration. Alright. A scenic sunset ride down a mountain. Enjoy the views of a snowy peak and a twilight beach. Oh, this looks amazing. I used some techniques while racing just now, but I'd like to introduce a couple that are vital to helping you win. First, star slides. Each machine scatters stars during a race, and if you collect these stars, you'll speed up. So those in the back have an advantage. Want to stay on the racing lines your rivals are using. Then you attack rivals and enemies on the course. Hi Shaibe and Pete the Sheep, welcome on in. Stars and you'll get a speed boost. In other words, those stars act as the machine's power source. While the game lets you attack in different ways, getting in other machines' way or slowing them down isn't the main focus. I'll attack you on the course, oh my word. Impact when you take damage is also minor. In this game, you'll compete by getting speed boosts by staying on your rival's tails and attacking. And now here's what happens when you cross the finish line. If you're playing online and not with friends, you can jump to another session right after you complete a race. You don't have to wait for others to finish the race. So you can keep playing. Oh! Okay! Machine Collection, Turbo Star. Boasts impressive speed, but proves stubborn and slow when it comes to steering. Slick Star. Slippery and tricky to control, but offers a wholly unique approach to riding. Rocket Star. Dashes forward with superior acceleration on a maxed out boost charge. Rex Wheelie. An intimidating, sturdy cycle. If it can maintain its top speed, it'll roll its way to victory. Battle Chariot. Heavyweight hunk of a machine that tears up the road and can send enemies flying. In air ride mode, you can adjust the in-game rules such as the number of laps. You can also slow down the game's speed. This is ideal for newer players. This game's average cruising speed is a little higher than the previous game. So if you feel like it's too much, try slowing it down. Also in air ride, you generally can't destroy other machines, but you can enable that option in the settings. You died. Hi. Where have you been? Gib, please. Now let's jump into City Trial. This is the main event. I imagine fans Kirby right, we're waiting for this. Oh, we fucking were. In the previous game, City Trial took place on a map with a given amount of space. Here it's still a sandbox, but... Did you make it bigger? This time it's set on... a floating island. Welcome to Skya! It's the only City Trial map. Some players will probably spend a lot of time here. As a sandbox, Skya does have borders, but it has different areas contained within. Skya Highlights Collection. Flower Field. Urban District. Plaza. Hi Shadow Foxy, welcome on in. Oh, this guy drips and falls apart into Legos. Caves. Subway station. So in City Trial, there were these little, like, subway stations that you could ride on and go to the other areas. It's good to see that returning. I am curious to know if Skya is going to be as big as this City Trial map, or if it's bigger, or if it's actually smaller. It looked a little smaller, but I could be wrong. Forest. Coliseum. The Underground Mall. There's definitely more to it. Like, City Trial was just, like, a big city, a suburban area, like, not even a suburban area, like, I'm not even sure what those were. A skyscraper of sorts, but it wasn't really a skyscraper because it had no walls. It was just floating platforms. A forest area, a volcano, a town hall, a quote-unquote sky garden. It was just a place in the sky. Yeah, no, this looks more involved. There's a lot more to see here. The sea. Here's an overview of how City Trial works. You'll freely drive around Skya. Swap to vacant machines you find, and collect power-ups scattered throughout. The time limit is 5 minutes. Okay, so 5 minutes was the standard in City Trial mode, I believe. However, you could extend this to 7 minutes, or you could go down to 3 minutes. After that, you'll head to stadiums. You'll take your powered-up machine to one of the stadiums. That's the gist of it. Oh, there you go, I missed it. Oh. Each with their own features and compete to win, there you go. Well, that's the gist of it. But first, a note about multiplayer. In the previous game, up to 4 could play in split screen. But now, up to 16 can play City Trial together? Holy fuck! Of course the game supports online play. You can also play with friends via local wireless. Up to 16... Okay, local wireless only supports up to 8. Okay, I was gonna say. However, you can add computer-controlled players to bring the total player count up to 16. Since there are more participants, the map is also bigger than last time. Okay, so the map is bigger. Cool. It looked smaller when you zoomed out, but it is actually bigger. It does look, and like I said, it looks way more involved. And despite there being more participants, it's also fun to play solo. So it might be good to experiment and add the number of computer-controlled players you want. Okay, so you can add them as well. Skya. Now, I'll briefly talk about fighting on Skya with the 5-minute time limit, as well as the general flow. Which Skya learns that things look smaller when they are further away. Shush you. First, you'll select a rider. But you can't select your machine. Instead, you'll start with a small machine, the Compact Star. Compact Star! It's easy to handle, but it's weak. Once you begin, try to find another machine to swap to as fast as you can. Okay, so in this game around, it looks like you just bump into a machine and you swap. You don't jump off the machine. Machine that's unoccupied is known as a vacant machine. One important note. I mentioned earlier that there's a new button. If you press the special button while facing a vacant machine, you can jump straight from one machine to another without fully dismounting. Okay, so you can still fully dismount, but you can also just jump on immediately. If you're on a Compact Star or your machine is about to break, you can swap machines by simply bumping into a vacant one. In the previous game, you always had to dismount your machine. Come a long way since then, huh? That being said, you can dismount your machine by pressing and holding down the special button. You can also steal an opponent's machine if theirs is about to break. Hold on! What? But what do you mean, if theirs is about to break, you can steal theirs? Does it give you more health? Oh, it restores the health of the machine. So, if their machine is about to break, you destroy their machine and steal it, and you restore its health. Ooh. That's nasty. I like that. Next, start finding power-ups. There are all sorts of power-ups. Kirby commits Grand Theft Auto. They can increase your boost, top speed, turn, glide, offense, defense, and so on. Kirby's still fucking pissed. Charge. Wait, they're scattered all over the map. Once you find a box, use moves like the quick spin to break it. Quick spin is basically a stick shake. Activate it by rapidly moving the stick. You can also use attack items to go after opponents and steal the power-ups they drop. If your machine breaks, you can still run and jump with your rider. However, you should find a vacant machine and grab it as soon as you can. In different areas across Skya, you'll swap out machines and collect power-ups to get stronger. Various events also occur throughout. Items became gigantic! You might get thrown for a loop. Or suddenly get lots of power-ups. A secret room appeared.
翻弄されたり大きく
I
風
wanted to see if there was like a name for that event, but there wasn't.
その中で特に
I'll introduce some new events that stand out in particular. Short race, dust up derby. Short race and dust up derby.
それらのイベントが始
When
ま
these
る
events
と
pop up, a starting area will appear somewhere on the map.
生じますまずはそこに
Make sure to hustle on over there.
もちろん参加しないのも手で
Of course, not participating in an event is also a
早く
strategy.
入るとスタート
If you get there early, you can keep collecting power-ups until it starts. Okay, so it's random. You get random
シ
power-ups.
ョートレースの場合
In short race, those who enter the starting area will begin a race through the city within a sectioned off area of the map.
なお部外者から
From an outsider's perspective, all short race participants appear as ghosts and they won't be able to interfere with each
レース
other.
が終わったら
Once the race is complete, participants will obtain power-ups depending on their
デ
ranking.
スマッチの場合
In Dust Up Derby, those who enter the starting area will battle each other.
もちろんバトル寄りの性能を持って
Obviously,
いた
those who
人
have raised their battle stats will already have an advantage. Machines that excel at flying usually have a higher degree of freedom, but they have low durability, so be careful.
ただ不利でも参加
Even if you're at a disadvantage, it might be good to power up by participating.
しやすいかも一回倒される
If you're knocked out in Dust Up Derby, you'll be out of the running,
ません
but your machine won't be destroyed. Your durability will recover and you can resume exploring Skya.
こちらも報酬
You can earn power-up rewards here too,
ほとんど結果を出せ
before or after. So even if you don't do well, I think it's still worthwhile to participate. Hmm.
なくとも参加した方が有利かと思います多分
Probably.
ボスが出演するイベント
Cracker has thundered on the scene. There are also events that bosses can appear. So this was I think this was kind of in the original, but not really.
ボスが出演するイベント
And
も
so
あります
bosses will appear,
例えば
like Cracker, for example.
ダイナブレードも
Dynablade also returned. Yeah, okay, so it was. Yeah. Dynablade also returns from the previous game. So Dynablade was basically the only boss from the original,
登場です
but was available. City Trial Events Collection. The mysterious bird Dynablade swooping in. If you defeat Dynablade, you get a bunch of power-ups. Danger! Meteors incoming! Oh, I used to hate that. A secret room opened. There's multiple secret rooms now. Okay, cool. Huge unidentified pillars appeared. Bust them up to receive a bunch of items. Items became gigantic. Not sure what that does. Cracker has thundered on the scene. There is one event that I really want to see if it returns, and I hope it does, but rush to the portals. Hurry, hurry. Oh my goodness.
ところで
I do hope that the one event that I found the most fun, which was something along the lines of crazy charge tank or something like that, your charge boost is automatically full and you are maxed out on top speed and you just go. There is no stopping, you just go. You have almost no control over your machine in that state. That was so much fun. I kind of hope that returns, but I'm not sure if it will.
パワーアップは
By the way, it's not a good idea to just blindly collect as many power-ups as you can.
競技種によっては操作
Depending on the stadium type, there are instances where you will still want to be able to easily hand...
目指すイメージに
Rowdy Charge Tank. Yeah, thank you. Cicada, thank you so much. Welcome on in, by the way. And yes, yeah, that's what I mean. Rowdy Charge Tank, yeah. Still want to be able to easily handle your
程度に
machine.
抑えた方が良い場合もあるのでマシンと合わせ
So try to make sure that your machine and collector power-ups match whatever goal you have in
目指すイメージに
mind.
合うようにしてみましょう
That was fun on the Rocket Star. Oddly, the rails don't limit your speed. I've seen over 700 miles per hour on the Rocket Star doing that. Oh, wow.
最高速度を
If you
高めようとする
prioritize
と
increasing your top speed, the decrease in weight can lower your defense as a result. So opposite forces can come into play.
走行して
As you're busy zooming around Skya, the 5 minutes will quickly fly by. Then while you're confirming your machine's stats, riders are sent to the stadium. Your machine might be really fast, unmatched in the air, powerful in battles, or skilled with tight turns, for example. 16! Whoop! Make sure to take a close look at the stats of your completed machine. Stadiums. The 5 minutes are up. Now introduce some of the stadiums where the winner is decided. Stadium collection. Kirby Melee. Defeat as many foes as you can. Air glider. Launch off the ramp, jump ramp and fly as far as you can. That's also returning. Drag race. That's returning. Ride straight ahead as fast as you can. Target flight. Returning. Hit the score panels and earn points to match. Dust Up Derby. Defeat as many rivals as you can within the time limit. This was just like a battle mode. Or just a battle. Skydive. That's new. Dive quickly by boosting. Aim for a high score. Gourmet race, yes! This is new. Gobble up as much of the feast as you can. Oh, I love that. Phew, there are lots of different competitions. Naturally, the machine you created will have its advantages and disadvantages. Stadiums are usually chosen at random from a large pool. If there are 16 participants, your chances of winning are only 1 in 16. Some video games have 100 players competing with each other, so maybe it's not something I need to worry about, but having a low chance of winning is tough. I also wouldn't want players to not have a chance of winning. With the machine they made because the stadiums are random? Is it the ambiguity that makes it fun? Being light and vague on the details has its charms. Anyway, we came up with a way so that any machine can compete to some extent. So now, you can choose the stadium you want to compete in from the 4 that appear. Pick the one you like based on factors like your machine or the power-ups you obtained. We also made sure that the stadium options vary. Okay, cool. So, in the original game, it was just 1 stadium. But in this game, you choose between 4. Depending on how you built your machine, some stadiums will be recommended. So if you're having trouble making a decision, pick from those ones. All participants will choose from the same pool of 4 stadiums. But you won't know who chose which stadium until the match starts. The mind games have already begun. If you have a machine that excels at flying, then pick a flying-based stadium is one strategy. But if you see that an opponent has an even better flying-based machine, another strategy is avoiding them by selecting a speed-based or obstacle-filled stadium. Of course, there is a third strategy, where the opponent with the superior flying-based machine picks a speed-based stadium instead to catch others by surprise. This is quite fun indeed. Okay, let's do a... Okay, he's gonna do a solo run. I'll add 11 computer-controlled players and try a 12-player battle. There's always something different happening. So I hope we end up with something that looks good on camera. I'm going to focus on exploration, and I'm off. Compact style you start with is weak, so you need to check your surroundings. Jump to a nearby machine. Wing star, so I'll swap to that. Swapping machines is easy, just press the Y button when you're near a machine to immediately swap. You don't have to press the button when you're on the initial compact star. You can swap just by bumping into another machine. Okay. When you start, it's a good idea to look for boxes and break them to get their contents. You can also pick up items lying around the map like this. There's a box over there.
あ、そこにコンテナがある。
Machines now fly more easily.
イベントが起こるんですけど、
Field events will also appear.
空を飛びやすくなったり
Right now, it looks like the machines can fly more easily. Since it's easier to fly, we can get quite high into the sky, even with the initial stats.
上の方まで行けそうですね。なかなかいいかも。
Nice, that's pretty good.
ちょっと地下街とか見てみましょう。
Let's take a peek at the underground mall. I know it's easier to fly through the sky right now, but
地下の氷があります。
there's an underground path.
浮いてしまう。
Oh no, my machine is floating way too high.
なかなか浮いてしまうの。
I can sometimes get in the way.
良いことも悪いことも。
Field events can cause good and bad things to
そして
happen.
これはゴルボール。
This here is a Gordo ball. When you throw it, bam. When you throw it, bam, I blocked my own way. Whoops.
自分の邪魔してどうするんだって感じです。こういうところ通ると。
When you pass through areas like these, you can clearly see that Sky is a floating island.
ついでに
Since we're here, let me introduce this grind rail.
環状線も紹介しておきますけれども、駅をつなぐ環状線
Connect stations together like
外
this,
側を回っています。
and it goes around Sky as borders. You tilt the stick side to the side, the line turns red, and you can drop from the track. Okay, so it'll let you know. That was a rare box, that's unusual. Right when I said that, a Dust-Up Derby event began. I'm at a disadvantage with the Wing Star, so I'll swap to a Wagon Star. I'd say a Wagon Star is good either, but it's better than a Wing Star. So in Dust-Up Derby, players who entered this event will battle each other. There are rewards when you defeat opponents, as well as rewards based on your ranking. So it's best to defeat as many opponents as possible to earn rewards. I used to call the Wagon Star the ice cream truck. It does look like like one of those little like street ice cream vendor wagons or something, doesn't it? You also need to stay alive for as long as possible. I'll pick up the dropped items and do my best. Attack up, 2 down, lucky me. Oh, a third one. And a fourth. I might have earned too many power-ups. Time to deal the finishing blow. Maybe I'm a little too strong. I earned a lot of rewards. As a result, my speed has increased quite a bit. Seems I'm in first place. Let me see. I'll try swapping back to the Wing Star. With this I can fly pretty high into the sky. I can fly rather far. We can see a volcano. Can enter it too, but I'll keep its contents a secret. You tease! This is the Colosseum. Bumped into someone above me, but let's ignore that. Let's ignore that. Okay, time's running out. I need to figure out what to do next. Kind of stadiums will appear and which machines I should ride. If I remember, the Wagon Star is a sleeper build. It can't drift nor charge, but in exchange it's better than the Warp Star when it comes to stats. Yeah, they did go over the Wagon Star a little earlier. Gordos are falling from the sky. This looks like something out of a nightmare. Well, I can fly, so good luck to everyone else. Oh, that's a lot of Gordos. This game is wild. You can see how happy he is. Oh, he is so happy with the chaos that is happening in this game. The entire floating island is being overrun with a bunch of those spiky things. I don't think there are many other games like this. Oh, that's right, I should explain one more thing. I'm unleashing a special move right now. You can get off the machine, in other words, hop off the machine. But if you do that, you can't grab items at the same time. So if you're booted off your machine, or you hop off on your own, it's best to immediately swap to another. I've decided on my next move. This time my glide stats are high, so I'm going to attempt something with flying. There are 5 seconds left.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time!
And that's it!
音楽もぴったりと
Also, the music ends right on time.
飛行13
Glide is 13, boost is 12. Yeah, glide is 13, boost is 12. Let's take a look at his stats. Boost is 12, top speed 7, turn 10, charge 8, attack 9, or offense 9, defense 8, health 10.
も12やっぱり飛行で攻める
Seems like I really should go for something with flying. The weight is also increased, so I got a boost in my defense as well.
だから何でもいけるな
So I should be able to handle anything.
何でもいける中で
I should be fine, I got these 4 options.
やっぱり
Maybe I should follow the recommendation.
準ずるべきかなというわけで
I'll go with target flight. This contains 2 rounds. Player with the highest total score wins. I'll aim for the 100-point target. And he got it. As you can see, there's a shutter attached to the 100-point target. Depending on the shutter's timing, you might not be able to get the points, even if you aim well. So be careful. That happened to me so much when I was a kid. So many times I went for the 100, and so many times I missed it. Should we see how the other players do? On second thought, never mind. I'll try aiming for the 100-point target again. If someone else gets it first. Oh no, the timing isn't good. Oh, that was close. Oh, he just got it. Oh. See, if it's that close. You can see Kirby ambling along on the bottom of the screen. Okay, first place. Thank you. Knuckle Joe is riding on a compact star. If your machine is broken, or you don't have a machine before entering a stadium, you'll revert to a compact star, so keep that in mind. So this game is a lot of fun. That's City Trial. By the way, here's a new item feature. Items will get discarded if you pick up a new one, but if you can also reserve one item in use and hang on to it. You can't reserve copy abilities since you use those on the spot. But items can be stored in reserve and automatically appear once your current item is used up. However, it'll be at the same capacity as it was before, so be mindful of that. Okay. So if you used up half of the item, if there were 3 shots left before it was stored, it'll return half empty. It'll return with 3 shots. If it's near empty, it'll vanish without going into reserve. Regarding stadiums, there are instances where the stadium is automatically selected for all players. Okay, so that still happens. This works just like the previous game where you don't get to choose the stadium. Sometimes an alert will pop up before City Trial begins. At other times, you might just all end up together. If there's an alert, everyone will bolt for the machines that would have an advantage in that particular stadium. Yet another mind game. In Skya, the Prediction Codex item or the announcements can hint at what the stadium will be. But sometimes the announcements will contain false information, so be careful. This time around, if you look closely, you might be able to spot the false information. Ha! Made you luck! I love that. Made you luck! Up to 8 players can enter one stadium. Stadium is popular and has more than 8 players. It'll automatically divide them into 2 groups.
そこで疑問が
Now here's a
たま
question.
たま一人
What
だけの
happens if
スタジ
you
ア
end
ム
up being
に
the
なったら
only player who
どう
picked
な
the
るので
stadium?
しょう。
Ha!
あなたに
I love it! Yeah, no competition, you just win. After that, though, you can still battle computer players who have your opponent's stats. Okay,
こ
cool.
れに勝っても負けても優勝
Even
になります
if you win or
けれ
lose
ども
against them, you'll still be crowned the
オ
winner.
ンラインで誰かと遊んでいる場合
If you're playing online, you can jump to another session once you're done, just like in air ride mode. Okay, cool, so it's instantaneous. So go ahead and play for as long as you'd like. Tilt to vote. If there are fewer players, you can hold a lottery to select stadiums based on
も
votes.
抽選することもできます前作同様
You can also make it random like in the previous game. So play around with the rules. Some of them have variations even if they're the same type. This is also something that can keep you occupied for a long time. City Trial, the mode beloved by fans for many years, is back again in Kirby Air Riders. Even though we're now in the 2020s, I hope you're looking forward to it. Oh, I certainly fucking am. Main theme. Oh, that might be... Might want to mute that. Heard a little bit of it in the intro, but this time around there's a main theme. Takes the joy of being together with your machine and expresses that as a song. It'll be released on Nintendo Music later today along with some other tracks. So please give it a listen if you're interested. I might have to check that out later. Closing thoughts. Okay, we're fine. So did it come through that this isn't just a humorous racing game? The original game was released over 20 years ago, but I think there's fun to be had that feels refreshing, novel, and unique all at the same time. That's all for today. But there are still a few things we weren't able to cover. Okay, so there's still a lot more. Also, if you do that one more thing, I'm going to fucking laugh. You better not do that one more thing like you do with Smash Brothers all the time. 'Cause I swear. I do want to... Oh, hold on. What did he say there? What did he say there? Hold on. That's all for today. But there are still a lot of things that we weren't able to cover. I do want to share the other wonderful aspects of this game sometime soon, so I hope you'll look forward to that. See you later. Might want to mute that. If he does a one more thing, I'm going to scream. He won't. He won't. He won't. It'll be a release date though. Release date? Can we get... You fucker! He did too! Oh, you fucker! What is this nonsense? What are you doing? What are you doing? You fucker! You little tease! Oh, we have a release date. 20th of November. Ooh. What was that tease? Ooh, Oh, I can't believe he teased us again. Ooh, what was that? Ooh, hold on. For a minute there, I was like, hang on. Why has he put this here? Like, Pokemon? Creatures? Disney? What's going on here? No, it's Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Why did he put that there? I'm assuming that's it. Yeah, that's everything. That's everything. Ooh. Ooh, what was that though? What was this? What was this thing? What was this? What was this? Woo. What was this all about? Hello? Fine, don't tell us. Oh, you tease. Ooh. Well, I'm certainly excited. I'm all fired up. I want to play Kirby right now. Ooh, this is gonna be good. Ooh, I'm looking forward to this. Ooh. Alright. Anyway, what I'm gonna do here is not even take like a quick break. We're just gonna swap over to Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. What I'm going to do is I'm going to split the stream VOD up. So probably around here is where, you know, the Kirby Air Riders Direct stream VOD will end, and then the other one will go up. I might put the Direct on my main channel, but I'm not sure yet. But yeah. Anyway, I do believe after all of that hype, 45 minutes. Good grief. My goodness, what were they thinking? I believe after all of that hype, it is time to play some more Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. What do you all think?